Welcome to our third Facebook Live. The English red, white and blue flutters behind me in the virtual breeze, and I'm sure that when you see it, as when I see it, a lump comes to our throats. A lump, dare I say, of freedom. Now first to Dave from Sunderland. Now, Dave, if you remember from the last Facebook Live, asked a very important question. He wanted to know whether, now that we've left the European Union, he was free to have a pop at his neighbours, or indeed at anybody else that he doesn't like. Well, I took your question, as I said I would, to Cabinet, or having a laugh, as we call it. And we tossed it about a bit. There was some very serious conversation about your question, Dave, and not a little banter. The PM was in the meeting, and he did a few card tricks, and we all kissed his flag, as it's become known. The PM wears the flag as a knotted handkerchief upon his head during these brain break sessions. One of the shadowy civil servants present asked, rather cheekily, I thought, whether it was quite necessary for these brain break sessions to continue the whole meeting. I'm pleased to say that said civil servant has now been suspended. And Offmoff have charged him with being an enemy of the British people's sense of humour. The PM's knotted handkerchief, I have to say, upon kissing, had a rather, a bitter taste. Somewhat musty, dare I say, if that isn't being too traitorous. The EdSec asked whether this was the flag of Narnia, and then amusingly asked where Narnia was. Michael reassured him and said that he didn't have to worry about that. In fact, dear Gavin soon wouldn't have to worry about anything ever again, said Michael. The EdSec looked a little troubled at this. Perhaps it was something he ate. As usual, Michael was attended by a group of constituency ladies who stood behind him and laughed at all his jokes and gave him a smattering of applause every now and again. They looked very fetching in their beige shirts. Do you know, I sometimes wonder why they're allowed into Cabinet each time. But the PM whispered to us that he always enjoys things more when there's a lady about. Anyway, back to you, Dave, and your post-Brexit plans to assassinate the neighbours or indeed anybody else that you dislike, including yourself. Now, the Home Sec asked me whether any of your neighbours, Dave, are, gay, or whether they are wearing a smaller Union Jack T-shirt or flying a rather minuscule Union flag in their front garden. Perhaps you'd like to drop me a line or post on Facebook Live, because I'm afraid I just didn't know the answer. And I gather from HomeSec that the answer will make a difference to her reply. And now some Offmoff news. Inspectors have decided that from henceforth they will be checking to see how free you are. And I have to say I welcome this. You know, in my home village of Upper Thorax, our houses are so far apart, it is quite difficult to tell how free we're being. I must say, this is unlike the homes in Lower Thorax, which are well, different. Now, man-bag news. Off-Moff inspectors tell me that the boffins at Portadown have checked the substances that were found in my partner Norman's man-bag, which was discovered during his participation in the Big Brother show. A bag, as you remember, that he packed and that I saw him pack. The boffins will be publishing their findings in due course. That's before, of course, they've completed their Morris Dancing Awareness course run by England for English Cultural Awareness, or EQUAC. Now, I thought to close this Facebook Live, I might sing you an old English country song. You might like to use this when you're doing your own Morris dances. So, feel free to join in when you wish. It's called That's One in the Eye for Johnny Foreigner. And it goes something like this. Oh,